Mountains. They define landscapes people risk their lives to climb them, and they can even make their own weather. The mighty chunks rise all over the world, including the oceans. They usually have steep, sloping sides and sharp or rounded ridges and a high point called peak or summit. Most geologists classify a mountain as a landform that rises at least 1,000 or more feet or more above its surrounding area. A mountain range is a series or chain of mountains that are close together. How are mountains formed? The world's tallest mountain ranges form when pieces of Earth's crust called plates smash together against each other in a process called plate tectonics and buckle up like the hood of a car in a head-on collision. The Himalaya in Asia formed close to one such massive wreck that started about 55 million years ago. 30 of the world's highest mountains are in the Himalaya. The summit of Mount Everest at 29,035 feet is the highest point on Earth. The tallest mountain measured from top to bottom is Mount Wanakew, an inactive volcano on the island of Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean. Measured from the base, Mauna Kea stands 33,474 feet tall, though it only rises 13,796 feet above the sea. Volcanic mountains form when molten rock from deep inside the earth erupts through the crust and piles upon itself. The islands of Hawaii were formed by undersea volcanoes, and the islands seen above water today are the remaining volcano tops. Well-known volcanoes on land include Mount St. Helens in Washington State and Mount Fuji in Japan. Sometimes volcanic eruptions break down mountains instead of building them up, like in 1980 eruption that blew off the top of Mount St. Helens. When magma pushes the crust up but hardens before erupting onto the surface, it forms so-called dome mountains. Wind and rain pummels the domes, sculpting peaks and valleys. Examples will include the Black Hills of South Dakota and the Adirondack Mountains of New York. Plateau Mountains are similar to dome mountains but form as colliding tectonic plates push the land without folding or faulting. They are shaped by weathering and erosion. Other types of mountains form when stresses within and between the tectonic plates lead to cracking and faulting of the Earth's surface. When forces block blocks of rock up and down. Examples of fault block mountains include the Sierra Nevada in California, Nevada, and the Tetons in Wyoming, and the Harz Mountains in Germany. Impact of mountains on habitats and geopolitics. Mountains often serve as geographic features that define natural borders of countries. Their height can influence weather patterns, stalling storms that roll off the oceans, and squeezing water from the clouds. The other sides are often much drier. The rugged landscapes even provide refuge and protection for fleeing and invading